It is Relic Knights week here on beastsofwar.com, and we have some fantastic prizes up for grabs. 5 in total. First up, we have 4 two-player starter bundles to give away to get you and a mate into the game. These will include 2 starter factions of your choice with the rules you need to play. We then have our 5th prize, which is a bit of a special one. You will win an expanded 2-player starter bundle, again, of the factions of your choice with the rules you need to play, but on top of that, you will get to work with the design team at Ninja Division to design a brand new miniature for Relic Knights. For your chance to win, get your comments in on any of the themed content this week on Beasts of War, YouTube or Facebook. Stay tuned and enjoy the week. So, hi guys, welcome to Relic Knights week here on Beasts of War. I'm joined by John from Ninja Division, and we're going to play through a basic demo game. So, John, what have we got set up here?
Well, we've got 2 starter forces pulled from our starter boxes for Relic Knights. You're playing the ever good guy Paladins of the Shattered Sword.
Okay.
And I have the ferocious beasts of the Noh Empire.
Right.
And at the outset of a game, we're going to go ahead and set up a table, which you guys have already done for us. The team here, by the way, has done a beautiful work on this.
Yeah. This was our John who did this. So
Nice.
we currently have two Johns in the studio. Our John built this table. It is looking really nice. What we've kind of set up here is, I don't know, sort of a black diamond forward operating base, would you say?
Yeah. They're obviously interested in securing loads of product here, as there's a lot of material being shipped around, and it's got a nice industrial look to it, and would serve as a great table across any game of Relic Knights.
Yeah. Well, so we've got our 2 starter sets, and I think you've added 1 miniature to each force, yeah?
Yeah, it's always nice to kind of add a little bit of flavor. For the Shattered Sword, we've added one of our new Aspirants, which is a really cool looking resin figure. He's a single hero. He's a fantastic addition to any Shattered Sword force. And I've added a Serpent Priestess for a little bit of a tricksy guile on behalf of my Noh Empire. So,
I'm expecting much shenanigans.
yeah.
Okay, so how do we begin our game?
So once the terrain has been set, players then do a draw to determine who's going to be the good guy and who's going to be the bad guy.
Okay.
In this case, we've already determined you're going to be the good guy, even though that can switch up. No, I can switch up. I could have been the good guy here, and you're just encroaching on my things.
Okay.
That said, good guys and bad guys basically determine either the scenarios or who's going to go first. In this case, you are going to get the first turn. We've already drawn our scenarios, the way scenarios draw, and we can get a little more custom with some of the components here at the table.
Yeah, I think the way they draw is, that would be my primary mission, and then I would flip again, and that would be my secondary.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning for anybody who's not seen the components before is that over here on the side we have what's called an Esper deck.
Yeah.
And every player has a 42 card non-customizable deck of cards which represent all of the different colors of energy that you can play with while you're in the game.
Yeah.
Everybody gets the same deck, and so they're working from that. We use that for a lot of randomization and turning things and moving things in the game. In addition to powering your abilities, in this case we also used it to determine what scenarios we were going to be playing as well. With an Esper deck, you will also get cards that outline and list what your scenarios are. Do you want to go ahead and read off what your scenarios are?
Yeah, so if I remember right, I got a green for my primary, so that's conservation. So to accomplish conservation, you must retrieve 1 conservation token from 3 different enemy objectives and deposit all 3 at my own primary.
Right.
Okay. For my secondary, I got yellow, so that's realign. So to accomplish realign, you must place at least 1 infused token on 3 different enemy objectives. The objects must all be possessing infused tokens at the same time to complete this.
Yep.
So as I'm picking stuff up, I can be dropping off the infused token?
You can use an action to either infuse or pick up a token in that case.
Yeah.
So it's going to require you to be mobile, but you might have to stay in an objective longer to do both things.
I think I can live with that and get both done around the same time, unless you're really guarding your objectives, which could be annoying.
We'll see.
I believe I also get my law scenario as a 3rd one, which just is because of my faction, yeah?
Yep.
So for that, I've got justice. After the first of my units has been destroyed, note the unit that destroyed them. This unit is now the accused. To accomplish justice, you must destroy the accused unit. If the accused unit is a Cipher, you must destroy the Cipher's knight.
Correct. Now, each of the scenario objectives, whether primary, secondary, or a faction scenario, are worth a number of points. And in this game, the size of the game determines how many points you need to score in order to win. In this case, we're going to play to 8 points and see who the winner is going to be.
Okay.
Which means you can clean up points pretty quickly by achieving a primary objective for 5 points.
Yeah.
And individual units themselves are each worth 1 if you take them out. If you kill an enemy commander, it's going to be worth 5 points for a full-on Relic Knight, or in this case, a questing knight or a low-level character is going to be worth 3 points.
Okay.
So I also have a couple of mission objectives, being that I'm the awful, nasty, extra-dimensional no ravaging slave trader guys that I am.
Okay.
The first of which is heist. So you clearly have something that I want. So for 5 points, I accomplish heist when I retrieve 3 heist tokens from your primary objective. So wherever that goes, I got to find it and send my guys up there and start stealing your stuff.
Okay.
My secondary, under corruption, is assassination. And before deployment, we had to choose, or have you choose, a non-knight character in the cadre carrying special intelligence. And to accomplish assassination, I have to destroy this unit.
Okay. Well, for that, I'm going to choose my Aspirant.
Okay.
I think he's quite cool. So this guy here with the big sword and the shield that you can see on camera, that's the guy that you have to try and kill.
He's tough. He'll take a beating, so I got to get to him. And of course, as I have a faction, my faction thing for 2 points is slave raid. So every time I destroy an enemy model, I get to place a slave token in contact with that model before removing it from play. And that means to accomplish this, I have to drag that token back to my primary objective and drop it off. So I got a cage waiting for one of your guys, just to let you know. That seems totally fit for the mill.
Yes, it seems legit.
Yeah. So as we move into the game, the next step is going to be deploying of forces. And deployment is going to be a big part of the game because, as you know, where you place your stuff has a lot to do with how quickly you're going to achieve objectives.
Yeah.
So starting with you, well, I'm going to have you place your primary objective anywhere on the table. These are basically included as if they were models in your force.
Yeah.
So
I assume that's these tokens.
Correct.
So if I bring these up on camera,
right.
I believe this is my primary, and these are my 2 secondaries, yeah?
Correct. They do count as objects. They do have a size. They have a number of hit points. They could be destroyed if you wanted to. All of that, of course, is available for referencing if you want to do that. But for now, since we're mostly going to require interaction with these points, it's probably best for us just to go about placing our points down and seeing what happens.
Okay, so I will place mine first, yes?
Correct. We do alternating placement for all units, and the only rule is you can place it anywhere on the table as long as it's not within 8 inches of one of mine.
Okay, in that case, I don't want to be too aggressive with this just yet. So I'm actually going to place it right here on top of this building.
No, you're going to make me work for that, aren't you?
I'm going to make you work for that because it means that your smaller guys, even though you don't have... Actually, you don't have any small guys.
Not really.
Oh, well. It was worth a try.
Yeah, I'm going to have to clamber up the side of a building anyway.
Yeah.
Well, 2 can play at that game. I'm going to take one of my primary objectives, and it's going to go hang out over here on top of this little tower.
Okay.
Okay, and on to secondaries.
On to secondaries. Okay. This time I am going to be quite aggressive with this because I think it's okay to do because I think most of your stuff is focused on my primaries. So for this one, I'm going to place it right the way up here.
Okay.
I think I have to be 8 inches away from your one. Am
Correct.
I 8 inches away?
Well, the magic of measuring.
Yeah.
Science says, yes, you're 8 inches away.
Okay, so that'll do.
Okay. I'm going to place a secondary as well. You'll notice that as we start placing some of these tokens down, that you start to build little cordons for where your stuff is going to be deployed. Yeah. Obviously, I could set it up back here off field or off into the corner and give myself a little additional footing to be able to put some models down. But it's a great way to start carving out space.
Yeah. Well, I think my next one, again, I'm going to be quite aggressive because it's a secondary. I think I'm going to try and place it right down here.
Okay. Let's go ahead and check your distance. You want to back that up about 1 inch here. And maybe a little bit more towards there, and you're good to go.
Stay about there, okay?
Yep, looks good.
Okay, that'll do.
Now you're going to love this. I'm going to put one right back here.
Oh,
that one.
Blast.
Yeah, right? Okay.
Well, that's going to suck.
Well, now we're going to go to you to start placing your first unit.
I think the first thing I'm actually going to place is my Aspirant.
Okay.
Now, if I'm right, he's really focused on melee, so I just want to double check and see if he has any range stuff first. So, no range stuff. So
okay.
Pure melee character. Do I want to be brave with him, or do I just want to hide him away somewhere that you're going to have to work for? Which of the objectives was that one? Was it a secondary?
It's assassination secondary. It's only worth 3 points.
You say only. That can rack up pretty quick.
It can.
You'll also get the point for killing him, so that becomes 4 points.
And if I turn him into a token and drop him off into a sack, then he turns into 5 points.
Yeah. So let's be a little bit more careful with this guy than you would like. So I think I'll put him right about here.
Okay. And we're clear out of 8 inches for that over there, so I think we're good.
Okay. Can you pass me the tape measure?
Of course, right there.
Just to double check. So,
nice thing about this game is you're really only measuring a couple of key things.
So just back a little bit.
You have initial deployment, which you're careful to measure. All tokens and effects in the game are generally 3-inch bubbles. Yeah. So as long as you have a quick 3-inch ruler that you can drop down and kind of spot check stuff, most of your measuring starts there. Yeah. Movement is the only thing that's largely variable in regards to measurement. And all of our ranged weapons or psychic attacks, they have no range.
Yeah,
Fact,
so
this is
no
an
measuring.
infinite little fight. There's nothing, no measuring. You have line of sight. It's a target.
Yeah.
Cool. All
I'm
right.
looking forward to seeing how this works.
All right, so I'm going to take one of my guys, my render.
Oh dear. I've seen this guy before. I know he does very nasty things, so I have to be even more careful with my deployment, but you'll see that later in the game.
It's a bit of a range fiend here, and I'm gonna toss him up there. He's going to play linebacker here with this.
Okay,
with
right
this
at your
token.
primary.
Yeah,
That's going to suck.
it's a good place to plant him.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I have two of my guys here, and let's see, my paragons I'm going to deploy.
Okay.
Now, it's a unit of 2 guys, so I'm deploying them both at the same time, yeah?
Yep.
So they're going to go... I believe I'm going to place them right down here.
Okay.
Because I think I can get to your secondary objective pretty quickly from here and start getting my conservation done.
Yeah. Well, they do fly, so they're able to get around quite quick that way.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Basically, those guys, I'm looking to them and saying, I think you guys are going to have to do a lot of work during this game.
Okay. That makes.
To actually get to objectives and stuff.
Well, then I'm gonna have to remove them from play, aren't I?
Confident, isn't he?
Oh well, we're just big and meaty. We do things like that. All right. Well, I'm gonna deploy my Kyojin Berserkers.
Okay.
And my berserkers are big, old, thorny, angry meatbags. And they don't do a lot except for run, scream, yell, and beat things up. So I'm confident they're going to get to where I need them to go the first couple of rounds.
Okay. Well, I think there's only one thing to do with that. So I believe I have my sword sworn here. I'm having a look at them. I'm not thinking I want to put them just directly in front of them because their stats aren't amazing, but there's a few of them. So what I think I'm actually going to do is I'm going to deploy them. I'm going to be a little bit sneaky with this.
Oh.
So across the table, if you can deploy them right around here, I think.
Around the crates?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think if you put them on across there, that will leave me in a nice range to go after your primary when I need to, if I need to.
I really hope I don't activate first because that beam weapon is going to cut a line right through your squad. So,
But
all right. Oh, yeah.
I'm the good guy.
That's right. You do get to go first. Aren't we tricky? Okay. Okay. I see where you're going with this. Let's triple check our 8-inch measurement. You're about an inch out. So I'm going to take this little trooper here and just pop him back here if that
That's
works.
fine.
Coolios. All right. Who do I have? Well, actually, this is the first time I've really used a Serpent Priestess with any malice. So we're going to go ahead and see what we can do with her.
Okay.
I have some ideas. So the Serpent Priestess is kind of a cool character because in addition to being able to draw energy from killing opponents, she also can pass that energy on to her bosses, infusing them with more Esper to be able to cast their spells and compel enemy models to move where she wants them to go.
Oh.
What do we do about that?
So those berserkers might decide to go for a little walk across the way here, and she might move them right into the line of fire.
Crazy things happen all the time.
Possibly. Okay.
This is the war-torn universe of Relic Knights.
So we can't actually see her on camera, so she is now right here.
Yep, that's a good spot for her.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, so I have one bit of deployment left,
Okay.
and that's going to be my knight.
Yep.
So my knight, I think my knight is actually going to go right down in here.
Oh, he's going to park right on top of that.
Well, right next to it. Because I think I can send him directly after that little priest and do some very nasty things.
Okay.
So, actually, if you didn't see, right here he is.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
So you have your last deployment.
My last deployment is going to be my Relic Knight, and that is going to be Zenaida and Spite. And she is the prime priestess, and she is quite a nasty critter in and of her own. So she's got some cool range attacks and some cool control things she can do. As long as I'm lining up on your guys, I'm feeling pretty good. So she might be a good augment to messing around with your sword sworn.
Okay.
She's going to deploy along with her little Cipher, who's going to hang out up here
Okay.
on top of this building.
Okay.
Perfect. All right, they're hanging out. We're good to go.
Tell you what, we'll take a break here. We'll
Yep.
have a discussion of our deployment and how you think things have went. So we'll be right back in a second. Okay, guys, so we've deployed. I'd actually like to stop for a second here, John, and actually talk about the deployments as they've went out, because this is my first game, really, so I'd like you to point out any mistakes that I've really made, because it'll maybe help someone at home who is maybe going to make that mistake themselves.
Of course.
So what are you noticing first about my deployment, if there's anything wrong with it?
Well, in deployment in general for Relic Knights, because it's so organic, you find that your models are going to be at risk very, very quickly. It's going to force you to make decisions about how it is you choose the activation order of your models. In our case, we're basically all making a couple of bets as these models go down. You've put your active Swordsworn out here in the middle of the field, thinking that an early activation is going to give you the movement and the range to do the things you want to do. But in putting them here, you've also put them in danger of an enemy with ranged attacks, and that's close enough to cause some consideration, given that their weapon has the ability to push them around the table a bit too. So I could hold them up quite a bit in addition to doing damage. And I also score extra points for taking out your Aspirant, who's kind of sitting out in the open right now.
Yeah, him up here, I kind of forgot that it's infinite range, so there is kind of a nasty line right there, so I may want to activate him earlier and have him just book it.
Right, and of course the bet is, what juicy target do I decide to go after in that case?
Yeah. Okay, so for me, I'm quite happy with my deployment because I want it to be aggressive with it. You know, I've got my Paragons down the bottom here, ready to go straight after an objective. I've got my Knight here who's ready just to run forward, because I know my Cipher has a couple of nasty little abilities which could really mess up your day if I get into range and get to play it. So I think overall I'm happy with it. What about yourself?
I think you're well deployed. You're positioned to go after all of your objectives. I tried to do the same for myself. You've kind of kept me back and away from yours, so my forces are actually split. So I'm going to have some hard choices to make too when it comes to playing. Well,
it was what I was trying to do. Whenever I was laying down our objectives here, I just wanted to carve out just the heart of the board, just to keep you away from there. So hopefully that has worked. Okay, well, we'll take another quick break. We'll get our activation set, and then we'll kick into round one. All our deployment's done. It's time to actually start setting up for activation. So how do we do this?
Okay, so all of the units in the game are represented by a tracker card. And this has everything on it, from their basic stats to their health points remaining, etc. And we use that in conjunction with our dashboard. Now, a dashboard's kind of a virtual concept, so you don't actually have to have this paper poster element in front of you, but it does provide a visual guide so that as you start playing the game, you at least know where all the cards go and where they need to fit. And we're only covering a few basic things. You need a place to discard your cards, a place to stick your Esper, a pool to hold on to all of your units that are not being activated, but the most important piece is the ready queue. The size of the game determines how many slots you're going to have in that queue, and I need to have one of my units fill each of those slots to determine the order I'm going to activate them in correspondence with you. Now, since I'm the villain, at the start of the game, I choose a unit out of my hand, and I'm going to be the first guy to place a unit in that activation queue. So you're going to see what goes down. So for me, I've chosen High Priestess Zenata. She is my questing knight. She's the toughest girl I got. I want to activate her first. So she's going to fill my first slot, and then now you get to pick a character to go down.
I think for myself, I'm going to activate my Swordsworn first. Because I've been aggressive with them, I want to continue that and actually try and get them up and doing their thing.
Cool. Well, since I don't like them, I'm going to activate or put my Render up there too, to kind of be a counterpoint and maybe fill them full of holes on their way up that ladder.
So I'm assuming your Render is the guy with the big gun.
He's the guy with the big gun, exactly.
Okay, well, the next thing I'm going to activate, just because now that I see that down, I'm a little nervous, I'm going to activate my Aspirant next and see if I can't maybe get him out of the line of fire, just in case something goes horribly, horribly wrong.
Okay. And then I think the last one I'm going to activate is going to be my Kyojin Berserkers. They're just good, tough troops. I need to get them moving. Everything else that I have is going to go into the idle pool on my card. Okay,
well, the last thing I'm going to activate is my Paragons, because I want to get going after those objectives very early.
Exactly.
Okay, so into the idle pile for that. So, like so. And then I assume quick shuffle to the Esper deck,
Quick shuffle to the Esper deck and draw 5 cards for yourself.
Okay.
And then we'll be ready to start.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I'm actually going to flip one of these under close camera, because I don't mind you seeing what I have, because it is just a demo game, but I want people at home to understand what we're seeing whenever we're looking at these cards.
Saves me from cheating, so that's good.
So what are we seeing on the cards? Because I'm seeing 2 symbols,
Yep. So each of the 6 colors of Esper are broken out into this card and mixed around. There's a large symbol and a small symbol. The large symbol is essentially a primary Esper that is going to give you 2 of that type when trying to cast a spell. When utilizing a card, you have an ability. You have an ability that's on your card, and it'll say, I have an attack, and it's going to cost me 2 blue and a yellow. So in order to do that, you would need to generate 2 blue Esper and 1 yellow Esper.
So if I was doing it this way, I could do it with 2 small ones.
Right. Each of them accounting for 1.
And then 1 small yellow, yeah?
Correct.
Or I could do it with a large one and the 1 small yellow, yeah?
Yep, but please notice that you can't use both of the symbols on the card. You have to choose one or the other.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, so I'm the good guy, so am I activating first?
You're activating first, which means the unit in your leftmost on that dashboard is going to be moved over into activation.
Yep.
The other guys slide over as well, and you now can draw his data card and activate your model. So
okay, so for my Swordsworn, what actions I have, they have a movement of 6/4.
Correct.
So I can move 6, then 4, and I assume after that primary movement, I then get to make my action and then move on, yeah?
correct. The step in the game is you move if you're able to or can or want to. You then take an action of any kind, and then you get a follow-on move. And again, this is an anime-flavored game. We like the idea of guys bouncing all over the place when they play.
Okay, so what I'm actually going to do for this is I'm going to actually be a little bit sneaky.
Okay.
So what they're going to do, I'll need you to move them for me because it's going to be right the way across the board.
Okay.
They are going to run and just hide right behind this building.
Oh, so snakes.
With their movement.
Okay, well, 6 inches will get you all in cover.
Yep.
So I'll start moving them over behind this building.
Yeah, just so that they're completely out of line of sight of that big guy.
You got it.
Now, it does, however, mean that they are now no longer a target for him, and my Aspirant's probably going to take a shot in the face. But seeing as he's activating next, that's okay. I'm not going to use an action. In fact, could I actually hold an Esper?
In this case, no. Holding an Esper, or what we call focusing, is an action that you can take, but you forfeit your movement and your actions.
I see.
But by doing so, you gain a held Esper, which is essentially a unit of Esper of any color of your flavor that you can then spend on spells in future turns.
Okay.
Cards that can hold Esper have an Esper container or a battery that they can start filling, and you can use a pen to mark it as you go.
Okay. So I'll assume this activation is now done, so these guys go to my idle pal, yeah?
Correct, and then you pick a new unit to fill that last slot.
Okay, so what I will do is, I will pick, I'll actually put the Swordsworn back into the mix.
Okay.
Just to see what happens.
And then the last thing we do is generally a cleanup of our Esper hand. So you might have already spent cards or not, but you'll have 5 cards in your hand. Now at this point, because it's your turn, you can discard any cards you don't think you're going to need, and you can draw new cards back up to 5.
All right, I think I will discard. I'm actually going to quickly have a look at my spell stats, just to see what I generally use.
Well, the next guy up is your Aspirant, right?
Yeah, the next guy up's my Aspirant. So I know exactly what I don't need now. So what I'll be getting rid of is actually just the 1 card, because it's got a red and a yellow on it.
Okay.
So I then just draw 1 more, yeah?
1 more to the hand.
Ah, nice.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Turn goes over to me then.
Yes.
All right. My first activation is going to be High Priestess Zenaida. She slides over. These other guys fill over as well. And I'm going to go to my character. Now, she has a movement of 6/6, and I have a very distinct mission for her in mind. However, looking at my cards, I may not be able to actually get it off. Let's see here. Do a little spot of... let's see what we can do. I'm going to try to move her along for full 6 inches, so she's going to come barreling through here. Now, if she starts the turn within line of sight of her Cipher, she gets to gain 1 held Esper no matter what. So it's kind of an added bonus for being a knight. Your leaders generally are going to be able to acquire more power because of their being attuned to these little Cipher characters. So she's going to gain a held Esper token. In this case, I'll use one of my tokens. Normally, I would just kind of scribble it in, but I don't think our pen is...
yeah, I think we'll have to hunt it.
We'll find it later.
During a break, we'll get one.
You bet. Okay, so she's gained a held Esper. She is now in line of sight of your Swordsworn as well as your Aspirant.
Yep.
And she's got a handful of energy, so let's see if I can get a spell off or 2.
Okay.
So I'm going to go to my hand. I'm going to go to what she's capable of doing. And I'm going to cast...
Ooh, what's he going to do?
Well, I think I'm going to cast Calamity's Curse. Now, this is a damage 3 attack that does not require line of sight. So it costs me 2 red and 1 purple energy to get off. So what I do is I, out of my hand, have to pay 2 red and then 1 purple, which I'm going to pay from my held Esper, to cast the magic spell. Okay. Now, there's no line of sight. There's no field of vision in the game. You essentially have a 360 arc of vision.
Okay.
So facing doesn't really mean a whole lot of anything. I usually do it just kind of to intend where the target is.
Yeah.
So in this case, she clearly intends on putting a little bit of hurt on that guy over there.
Okay.
So we're going to make that happen. Now, this is a psychic attack. Now, she has on her card a psychic ability of 4-4. And what that means is she has an offensive ability of 4 and a defense of a 4. And how we address that in the game is we actually add additional cards to our hand. So she's going to add 4 cards to this hand.
Okay.
And it's possible from this extra energy I'm able to boost this attack to do some additional damage.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and look at the extra cards I got, and it's a whole lot of nothing. Good job, lady friend. As I go through this, she's got 2 orange, which I might have used. Nope, it's going to be straight up. She is going to deal 3 psychic damage to this guy over here. Now, before damage is dealt, he is going to draw a defensive number of cards equal to the stat that is being attacked.
So
I'm attacking you psychically.
He's a 1/2, so I draw 2 more.
You draw 2 more cards, and then you'll go to your card for him and see if you have any defensive abilities that you can use.
So I have a shield and a resolve.
Okay.
So what I think I'm actually going to do, I'm going to play 2 blue.
Okay.
And if I have a, yes, I'll play this, which is 1 of any Esper.
Yep.
Which will count as 1 green, and I will use resolve, which is going to go recover 2.
Going to give you recover 2. Okay.
Yeah. Now, does that instantly take effect?
That instantly takes effect. There's nothing I could do to stop it. So the nice thing about having a card-based system is you utilize and manage your resources to do what you want to do tactically in the game.
Yeah.
So you've spent those resources now to give him recover.
Yes.
So he has a recover 2. We're now going to finalize the combat. So she's going to deal 3 damage. How much armor does your character wear?
He has an armor of 2.
Okay. So 3 minus 2 is going to be 1.
Yeah.
And then your recover of 2 means that you've taken 1 point of damage. You can recover up to 2 points, meaning it's a null.
Yeah.
So she reached out, she touched you, bounced it off, nothing really happened. Okay. And now, as I clean up at the end of my turn, I got to go back down to 4 cards or 5 cards, and my hand is full of garbage. So I'm going to go ahead and discard all of that.
Okay.
And put 5 new cards in my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'll assume because I burnt the 2 and I'm only sitting on 5, I don't discard down.
Correct. If you had more cards, you could get rid of those right now. But for now, your redrawing only happens in your turn.
Yeah.
And she's going to finish up by ending her movement of an additional 6 inches, hanging out on top of your objective.
Okay.
She's all kooky like that.
Okay. So it goes back to my activation. My Aspirant is now going to be the one who activates. So cross into the ready slot. Everybody else is moving up. What he's going to do, he has a movement of 6/4. So I'm just going to get him booking it across the table.
Yep.
So a total of 10. He's not going to commit an action because he has no range attack.
Right.
So he is going to run right away around and just hide behind this corner. Very bravely. Bravely run away.
Okay. Brave he is.
So his activation will be done.
Yep.
So he goes to my idle pile.
Yep. Do you have any follow-on movement, or did you do your secondary movement?
I just did both
You already
movements in the one because I wasn't planning an action.
You got it. All right. And then go ahead and pick your new unit to slide into that empty slot.
Yep. I believe this time I'm going to activate Francis. Or actually, I'll activate Quill.
Okay. Very good.
I'm going to get my Cipher on the move.
Now, it's worth mentioning to new players, if for any reason you don't have enough unit cards to fill the slots for the size of game you're playing, you need to include a stand-in card simply by flipping around one of the cards and placing it there. This is going to be a timer, meaning that when you're starting to wind down your unit count, that your opponent is now going to be able to activate possibly a few more models between the times that you activate yours, simply because it doesn't allow you to recycle the same character and keep bouncing away at something.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So at the end of my turn, I think I'm actually going to bin... I'm going to bin 2 cards.
Okay.
Just because I think I need something a little bit more in here.
Gotcha.
And that'll work. Okay.
All right. I am going to activate my render. So he is going to slide and move over. Everybody moves over with him. But in place of actually taking an action with him, he is going to focus.
Okay.
So he's going to charge up his gun and put something on there.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and look at my hand and see if there's anything I need to discard. Couple of useless cards. I'm going to go ahead and ditch one, drawing a new card. And then he's going to go back to the idle pool.
Okay.
And I'm going to put him actually back at the end of my line. So
okay.
I'm done. Your turn.
Okay, so now you're putting the pressure on me because I know he's coming again. I know he's going to be up and running in a couple of activations. So whatever I'm going to do, I need to do it fast. So the next thing that activates is my Paragons.
Yep.
So they'll slide across into the active. Everybody else moves up. Paragons have a movement of 8/2, but they fly. And if I remember right, fly means I can ignore terrain on the first part of my movement. Yeah?
Correct.
Awesome. So here's what they're going to do. They are going to try and fly right up here.
Look at those cheeky little buggers.
So jetpacks firing away. Happy as you like.
Yep. Now the objective is an object. You could land on it if you wanted to.
No, I think I had just enough movement to get to there.
Cool. It actually provides cover for you. So.
Oh, thank you.
Added bonus.
Okay, so they now have their action.
Yep.
So what I think I'm going to do for one action is I'm going to go for my conservation, which is picking up the token from it.
Yes.
So I will grab my number 1 token.
Okay.
And just place it beside them, and it'll just travel with them.
Perfect. Exactly.
Okay?
Yep.
And that will be... Actually, I've got 2 more inches of movement, but I would then have to be jumping down.
Right. In this case, it wouldn't be a jump, and you don't have enough movement to actually clear all 4 inches of that de-escalation, so they'd have to stay there or just reposition on the platform.
I'm just going to stay right where I'm at.
Okay.
Okay, so clean up. They will go to here, and I will pick who's going next. Actually, I'm going to put in Francis Malroy, because I think he needs to be activating with that big nasty gun just sitting up above him. So, your activation.
Okay.
Oh, actually, do I need to clean my hand out? Yes, I'll bin 1 card from my hand and draw fresh.
Smart. All right, I'm going to activate my Kyojin Berserkers.
Yeah.
Everybody slides over, and Kyojin have a initial movement of 6. So they're to come barreling around this corner as best they can. So we're going to move some guys right over here, and they're going to follow suit, just like that.
Okay.
Actually, that puts them just a needling bit closer. All right, so we're going to go to their skill set here and see what we can do. I'm going to try to get off an ability. Let's see if I have enough cards to do this.
Okay, I get the feeling I'm going to need my Aspirant's card here.
Well, maybe. It's a big hard maybe. Okay, I think I can pull this off. So I'm going to do 1 orange, 3 orange for Gore Charge.
Okay.
Now, Gore Charge is a close combat attack that causes 5 damage. Now, we're not in combat yet, but it grants me an ability called Charge 6.
Okay.
So that gives me an additional 6 inches of movement to move my guys into combat. So 6 inches is going to put 1 model here and 1 model here.
Okay.
Now, we are all having a big old scrum now.
Oh dear.
So those are the first 3. Now, my combat ability for these guys is 4. They're pretty nasty in close combat, so I'm going to draw 4 cards into my hand to see if I have anything that I can boost this with. I can boost the attack by paying 2 to make it a damage 7. So here's 2 red to make it a damage 7.
Okay.
And then I am going to leave it at that.
Okay, well, my Aspirant has a defensive 3, so I get 3 more cards to put into my hand. And let's see what his defensive abilities are. So how much damage are you doing?
I'll be doing 7 right now, minus your armor.
7 minus my armor of 2 is 5.
Right.
Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is actually play, if I have it. So, I'm going to put down 2 blue.
Okay.
And 1 green. So, it now looks like this. And the ability I'm activating is again my... wrong one. It's my Resolve.
Okay.
Which is giving me Recover 2. And if I have 2 green, which I don't unfortunately have, I could have upped that to 4. But it means I'm only going to take 3 damage, which I think is fine.
Okay, so you would have taken 5, and your resolve of 2 makes it 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so he marks off 3 from his list.
That's fine. I'll just put 3 tokens right beside him here.
All right. Well, my guys have a follow-on move of 6 inches, so they were happy clubbing you, and now they're going to take their 6 inches and scramble up to the top of this container.
You're kidding me?
No, this container has a height of what we talked about as being about a 4 or 5.
Okay.
These guys are 3s, so they can spend the remaining movement and get over that obstacle.
Okay. This has annoyed me.
Yeah, well.
There was me thinking I was being clever with the placement of my primary when you've just been able to just run up and do whatever you like.
Or maybe it's like a really colorful backflip. I don't know. I mean, this is an anime after all.
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and discard 1 card down to 5. I'm going to discard another one down to 4 and draw a card into my hand, putting my Kyojin Berserkers away and moving my Serpent Priestess into the mix. Okay, your turn.
So I have to have a look at my Swordsworn to see what they can do. Aha! So, my Swordsworn are what's activating now, so they'll move in. Everybody else will move up. So, for them, they're actually just going to stand right where they're at. Oh, can I do it? I don't think I can. No, I can't. Unfortunately, I can do nothing. Goose egg.
Goose egg. Okay.
So they're just going to stand and hold an Esper.
Okay, so they're going to focus.
Yes, they're just going to stand and focus.
Okay, go ahead and take a token for right now.
Yep, I'll just put one right there to mark that it's them.
Throw it on their card or something if that's easier to remember.
Yeah.
Okay, and that ends your turn.
Yeah.
So we're going to go back to my turn. I'm going to activate...
But I have to do my cleanup step.
Of course.
So, I'm going to put my Aspirant back in here because I can't just leave him sitting like that, just hanging out to dry. I also need to get rid of cards from my hand. So, sorry, this is probably me slowing things down a little bit just to learn what I'm up to. So what I really need is blue, and I'm going to draw up 4.
Okay.
Just to see what I can get. So, on you go.
All right. So, Zenaida, my questing knight, is going to activate again. She is still within line of sight of her Cipher, so she is going to gain a held Esper again. And we're going to get her rolling. So she is done toying with your little knights, and she's just going to run off. So her 6 inches is going to carry her over here. And let me go ahead and double check and see what it is I'm going to try to do with her. So she is going to try to cast Calamity's Curse. And that requires 2 red and a purple. So we are going to go... Hold on, let's see here.
What exactly is this spell going to do to me?
2 red
and
a purple. I'm going to target your Aspirant. It does not require line of sight to cast a spell. She's just picking you out of the crowd and attacking you with a psychic attack that does 3 points of damage. Now I'm going to draw my psychic skill, which for her is 4. So that's 4 cards into hand.
Okay, I'm going to get my extra 2.
Yep. And then I'm going to go ahead and complete all of my boosts, if I have any to make. The first one is I'm going to increase the damage to 6 by adding 3 more purple energy. And then I'm going to add 3 orange to make it so you can't recover.
Okay.
And now I'm down to my things. So, your turn.
Okay. Well, in that case, I can't do a recover at all. So my Aspirant's only option then is to use his shield.
Right.
Which is going to cost me a 2 blue and a green. So in fact, if I put that and that down, will probably work better. So that's 2 blue, 1 green.
Okay.
But that's only against melee.
Right.
So I then have to put down 1 more blue, and I'm going to have to burn a 2 green to activate it to let it shield anything.
There you go. Okay.
Will that work?
You've actually stopped half the damage.
Okay.
So the block comes in. You're going to stop 3 out of the 6 damage coming at you, and you have an armor of 2.
Yes.
You take 1 point of damage.
1 damage. Okay.
Did you take damage before? A couple of points,
no,
right?
actually, yeah.
I think my note clubbed you.
He took 3 points because I put the tokens beside his base.
There you go.
So he's on 4 damage total so far.
Okay. Well, we're chipping away at it.
Yeah.
So we're going to complete that movement as she continues her little lithe barrel roll floaty thing and end up right about there.
Okay.
Okay.
So, quick question.
Yeah, shoot.
As it stands, I only have 3 cards, and it's about to be the beginning of my turn.
You will draw at the beginning of your turn up to 5 cards before you actually start play.
Okay, and I can't discard anything here.
Can't discard anything out of your hand, correct?
Oh, this is going to suck.
Well, you just juiced your entire hand, so I don't feel bad for you.
Well, I kind of didn't want you getting much damage on the Aspirant.
Well, and that was a good spend of cards, so...
Yeah, so I'll draw, and here's hoping. That might work. Okay, so I have Quill activating.
Okay.
Which is my Cipher.
Correct. Let's talk about ciphers for a second.
Yeah, because I haven't activated one of these before in a game. So how does this work?
So a cipher is, in a way, tied to your character without using a game term called linked. What it means is that as long as he has line of sight to your boss, he can interact with him in some really special ways.
Okay.
By himself, he's also a fun little character. Now, the ciphers in this game can't actually be destroyed unless you remove the knight that controls them. Think of them like small little magical entities that run around and bark and make noises and do all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
They're talking with their boss right now.
Okay.
And because of its connectivity to the universe, at the start of the turn, it's going to suck up a held Esper no matter what. So you just gone ahead and charge his battery just by activating him.
Okay, so he gains 1.
Correct.
Cool.
Now, he can take any Esper action, and these are 3 very specific actions. He can pass his held Esper to his knight. He can steal Esper from another character who may or may not have held Esper on them if they're within line of sight, or he can cleanse a area of effect token or something that's been put into play. So those are just general abilities all Ciphers have, and then on their cards they usually have one or two more abilities that you can leverage.
Now, quick question. Those Esper actions, I assume they count as his action?
They are his action if you choose one of them, yes.
Yeah. Okay, he's not going to be doing that.
Okay.
What he is, however, going to be doing is he's going to fly across the battlefield.
Oh, boy.
Because he's actually very nippy. He's got a movement of 7-5.
True, true.
So what he's actually going to do is... Now, I think I can do this, but tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
If he flies up here and decides to fly one of these guys away,
right.
How will that affect the other guy? Because they are in a unit.
It means that at the start of his activation, I need to move to get back into contact to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And flying you off this particular building wouldn't do any damage to you, would it?
I believe it may cause 3 damage to me, because what you're doing is you're pulling me over an obstacle, and the obstacle is a man-sized obstacle of size 2.
Okay.
So any collision with that causes damage as I go tumbling off over the side.
Right. So.
Which, by the way, they have recovered too, so they're not going to take too much of a hit.
Yeah, but it gives me another idea. So he is going to fly right up to here.
Oh, great.
Which is well within his first movement.
Picking on poor Zeneda.
So fly up into base contact. And then he's going to activate his ability Snatch.
Okay.
Which is going to cost me 3 Asper.
Yep.
So I'm going to have to use two twos to pull it off. He can now fly with her 5 inches any direction.
Correct.
So, guess where he's going?
Oh, I actually don't know.
He's going to fly 5 inches this way.
Right back. Okay. Well, and now you get to place the model anywhere within base contact of you.
Yep. So
right
there.
You pull her up by her pretty little braids and yank her over the top of a container. Good job, Quill. Burned. Anyway.
Because it crossed over that, I assume, does she take damage or?
You drug her over an obstacle with a compelled movement, so yes, she will take 3 points of damage. That said, I really don't have any means to actually put that damage anywhere else.
All right, well, here, look, I'll tell you what, we've had a few activations.
Yeah.
Let's actually stop, take a break, and actually talk about how we think the game's going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I just wanted to stop for a second to get a feel for how the battle's breaking out so far. So we've had a few activations apiece, and I gotta say, my little knight, who I'll take his damage off because I actually grabbed a marker there and marked his damage. He is really taking a hammering. He's hiding right behind this building, so your big shot can't get him, but you've got these 2 Kyojin berserkers right beside him, which makes me nervous.
Yeah.
Other than that, in the center, my next activation is going to be my knight, who I think is really just going to start to work his way up and across towards this guy to try and smack him in the face.
Makes sense.
Other than that, I haven't really been able to activate my Paragons recently because of the fact that you've just been making me look elsewhere on the board, so I've been held up on my objectives. So I really need to get them back into the mix and actually start completing those objectives.
This is a big part of the game, is actually focusing and making decisions about what it is you're activating and how you do it.
Yeah.
You may find you have support models that you just try to engage at the beginning of the game, simply just to throw out something like a healing font or a shield somewhere, and then you never touch them again if you can help it.
Yeah.
And then you focus specifically on your blitzer-style characters who can run and take actions and do stuff. So you had great plans for them, but because they never hit the initial queue, you got tied up in all the other actions.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of a fun thing to watch happen.
Yeah. On your side of things, I'm not quite sure what you're trying to do here.
Well, remember, I still have my scenario objectives that I'm really trying to focus on, right? The first of which is heist. This is your primary objective. Everybody I can get over there to start pulling things off of that, the better. And I need 3 of them to score those points. And 5 points is almost a game winner for us. But their proximity to your other target, though, the assassination, is also points for me. So I can do double damage just by swinging around there and just making a bunch of mess with those guys.
An important question. Because there's 2 guys in this unit, could they each grab one? Or is it just one for the unit?
The unit takes a single activation in every case.
Okay.
So I'm not going to add extra tokens. Yeah.
That's very important. Okay. Well, I think it's going to be interesting to see how the game plays out from here. But I thought it was worth just taking that little stop. We will do it again just to see how we think things were doing.
You bet.
I think having Quill drag you back across, it's just keeping you away a little bit from my objective.
Great tactic, yeah.
So I think we'll take another break here. We'll move on and we'll get back to the activations.
So, looks like beginning of my turn. I'm going to activate my render and move all my stuff down here.
This was the one that had me afraid because you put that Esper onto him.
He is powering up, so we're going to see if he can do anything about it, though. So I'm going to go ahead. He's holding on to a held Esper. Flip his card. I'm checking my own cards. Well, I can certainly take a stab at this and see what I can do.
Okay.
So he is going to activate.
Okay.
So, I'm not going to move, but I am going to spend my held Esper to generate one red energy.
Okay.
And I'm going to combine that with 3 purple to use an ability called Hydra's Breath.
Okay.
And Hydra's Breath is my ranged attack. Okay. I have a shooting ability of 2, so I'm going to draw 2 more cards into my hand.
Okay. Who is he targeting?
Good point. He is going to be targeting your paragons up on the bridge.
So right up here.
Yep.
From here.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to draw a line right through them. I've drawn my additional cards, and I'm going to see if I can't increase the damage from 4 to 6, and then I'm going to spend 3 more purple and give it a push of 4.
Eek.
Eek. So I'm going to blow them right off the top of that thing if I can help it. So.
All right. I need to have a look at my paragons. I don't think they have any defensive abilities.
That is true. They do not have any defensive abilities.
Blast.
Yep. So I'm coming in at strength 6. You have an armor of 3.
Paragon's armor 3. Yes. A quick question: can I use my knight if he has reactive abilities right now?
No, because it's not targeting him.
Ah, I see. Important.
Yes, very important.
Okay.
Yeah, no, if your guys were initiates, you could draw from and use abilities from those little cards there. But right now, these are minions. They're tough guys. They got lots of armor. Their strength lies in mobility and not getting shot up.
Okay, but I still get to draw my defensive cards, yes?
You still get to draw your defensive cards, yeah. And there's a cool benefit here, something that people don't pick up on first time they play, is that even though your model may not have a defensive ability, the act of drawing cards into your hand allows you to customize your hand for the next round of combat. So you're going to discard down to whatever might be most beneficial for you later on, even if you can't stop this attack from happening.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't need a measuring tape. I don't need a line of sight. I can see you. I draw a line. I hit your guys. Both models are in the danger zone, even if I hit one. So I'm going to score 3 points of damage. And they're going to take some damage as they go tumbling off the top of this building. Yeah. So the push of 4 inches would simply push them over the edge, and they're going to land exactly at the bottom. It's not a distance throw at that point. And I'm going to go ahead and double check what the drop damage is, but it should be 3 points of damage.
Okay.
Go ahead and check that again.
Well, thankfully, my paragons have 3 armor to begin with, and so I think it's just one of them taking 3 points of damage then, or is it both of them taking 3 and then 3 again?
Okay, so if a unit's subject to force move that causes them to fall from elevation that they would normally have to climb or scale, they suffer fall damage. If a unit falls from terrain with a size equal or greater than its size, they suffer 3 damage. And if a unit falls from terrain with a size greater than twice the unit's size, they suffer 5. So those guys presently are size 2 or 3.
Oh, does it tell you on the card?
Yeah, on their card.
Size 3.
They're size 3. So that is not a size 6 structure. I think we had opted a size 5 at the beginning of the game.
Okay.
So they'll suffer 3 points plus 1 additional point for each additional member of the squad who's part of that tumble and fall over.
Okay.
So their armor still comes into play here, so they're only going to take an additional point of damage. So it's 3 plus the additional 1 for falling off the edge.
Okay, and is that just onto one of them?
It's off to one guy. You're going to start just tracking across the whole unit.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And thankfully, your guys are only 6 hit points each, so you still have both of your team members as part of the squad.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah. I have a follow-on move if I want to make it. Doesn't do me any good. My render's going to sit there quite happily chuckling and burning a hole through those guys. So he's going to go to the back of the pile, and I'm going to throw my Kyojin Berserkers at the back and discard this garbage out of my hand.
Okay.
And take 5 new cards.
Okay. I think what's going to happen now is I have to discard down to my 5, yeah?
Correct.
Because I'm way over. So I want that. 2, 3, 4, and let's say that for 5. So those 3 will go away. And just make sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's fine. So I have Francis Mallory activating.
Yep.
So now this is one of the most complicated units you can activate during the game because they do the most stuff.
Right.
So what I'm going to have him do, he's got a movement of 7, 5.
So before he moves, you first need to check to see if he has line of sight to his Cipher.
Okay. Would you say he has line of sight?
As I'm looking, you can traverse base to base, so he does have line of sight, which means you're going to gain a held Esper right off the bat.
Okay, lovely. So what he's going to do then is he's going to use that first movement of 7 to go directly into your knight here.
Oh, lovely.
And for his action, we'll see if we can't do a nice little smack.
Okay.
So, what do I need? So I need 3 blue, which I have, and then 1 yellow, which I have, and he's going to use Smite, which is just a straight up melee attack.
Right, right.
So here it is here. Okay, so it's doing damage 6, and it's actually charge 6. So I could have really got at you if you were further away.
Yep, and so you charge 6, you moved in, you're going to do damage 6 on the attack.
Yep, I'm going to draw 4 more because of his melee stat.
Right.
3 and 4. Okay. And do I want to do anything extra? So if I add 3 yellow, I can gain Reeve. And if I add 3 blue, I can gain the, what is it, Brutal?
Sorry, which one? Oh,
The overcharge, is it?
The overcharge ability,
Okay.
right.
Right, still learning. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put 4 yellow into it,
Okay.
just to get that ability off, so it's now got Reeve.
He's got Reeve. Okay, just so you know, Reeve only activates if you remove the enemy model from play, and she's got quite a few wounds left on her.
Ah.
So it might be energy not well spent in this particular case.
Well, I'm not actually going to need those for my next stuff,
Okay.
so...
That's right.
Anywho, so you're taking 6 damage.
Yep, unless I got something I want to do about that.
Yeah.
Well, I have defense, so let's start with that. So she has a melee defense of 2, so I get to draw 2 cards
Yeah.
into my hand, and I think I drew exactly what I needed to do what I want to do. So I am going to actually spend 3 and gain recover 2 from Vitate, which is a corruption action that she can take because she's a corruption master.
Okay.
And then I'm going to spend a further 3 to up that to recover 4. So
Okay.
she now, after taking a hit, is only going to suffer 2 points of damage. So, no, I'll take the 2 points of damage. It's
And is she in your activation cycle at the minute?
yeah, she
Yes,
is.
she is.
Did you have knockback on that?
No.
Oh, well, tragic.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so he will go out of the way, but he still has an Esper held on him,
Okay.
which is fine. My guys will all move across. Now, who do I want to activate next? I'm actually going to put Quill into the mix.
Okay.
Just because... Or actually, no. I'm just going to put Francis back in, because I think I'm just going to run you down and just keep hitting you and hitting you and hitting you and making you run away from me.
All right. You're going to make me work for this. All right. Okay.
Yeah, kind of. Isn't that half the point?
Yeah, well, absolutely. Okay.
So at the end of my turn,
Yep.
I have 4 cards left. I don't want this, and I don't want this, so I'm going to discard those and draw up to my 5 again.
Okay.
And oh, that'll do.
All right. I'm starting with 3, so I'm going to draw 2 more cards to fill my hand. Wow, that's a whole lot of nothing. I'm going to activate my Serpent Priestess and roll everybody over. My Serpent Priestess having a couple of funky abilities. Let's see if I got enough juice to get them off. Well, let's see what we can do here. So her complete movement actually covers 6 full inches. She's going to take a Brave Leap.
Okay, so why is she going up towards your objective?
Well, she's moving up to the objective so she can actually get line of sight on other models.
Oh.
So this is part of her being tricky. Now, does she have line of sight on your Aspirant at all?
I'm going to say no, because he's right behind and the base is just totally cut off.
Okay, that is a clear no. So I'm going to do to you what you probably hope to do to me. So she's going to use an ability called Bewitch.
Okay.
And this is a psychic attack which requires 2 red and an orange.
Who are you targeting?
I'm going to target Francis.
Okay, so
So
you're
2 red.
targeting my knight.
Correct.
Okay.
And let's see, I've laid my cards down. She has a psychic ability of 2, so I'm going to draw 2 more cards.
And I have my defense of 2, so I'll draw 2 more.
Yep. And I'm going to increase the range to compel 8 by adding 2 more orange to the spell. So I'm going to be able to move him up to 8 inches. And yeah, do you have a defense or response to that?
I in fact do.
Okay.
I'm going to use the 1 Esper that's already held on him.
Yep.
A blue, 2 more blue, and 3 yellow.
Okay.
I'm going to use Outwit. Redirect the attack back to the attacker.
Lovely. Well, that It sucks for me. Go ahead and discard those cards, and feel free to compel my girl and move her 8 inches to your heart's content.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move her so that she's just going to walk right off the edge here and down to here.
Oh, lovely. Okay. All right. Well, she's a size 3, and that's going from a 5 to a 1.
Yep.
So it's 4. So she will take 3 points of damage for going headfirst off the gantry. So, headfirst it is.
Mr. Malroy, move. No, you move.
Yeah. He just snapped that back at her like he had a baseball bat. Just crack. Take it. Okay. All right.
That was beautiful.
So,
Yeah.
good one. She has a follow-on move of 6, so we're just going to go ahead and keep her in the move while we're at it. And she's going to ignore a lot of things and just come pounding right through here.
Okay.
So she's going to head over here to the ladder.
That's fine.
All right. Well, okay. I ran myself out of cards. She's spent. I'm going to find a new character to throw into the mix. And it's going to be my render again because he got lucky.
Okay.
And I'm out of cards, so I'm going to shuffle my Esper deck and then draw 5 new cards.
Okay, while you do that, I'm down to 3, so I draw up by 2.
Yep.
And I'm almost out of cards myself, which is possibly a good thing with the way this hand turned out. It's shaped like a foot. So I'm activating my Aspirant. He's going to run!
Oh, yeah.
Far away.
Well, you can.
So the way he's going to go is he's going to run his first move of 6. Will take him right up to here. Oh, if I don't move buildings and stuff, just right at the corner of this. And then he has another movement of 4, and he's going to bail right up to here.
Okay.
Just short of being able to jump down behind there, which would have been useful.
That would have been useful. Oh,
But he's at least behind boxes there.
Yeah.
So would that be cover?
If I'm attacking from this angle, yes, he does count as being cover, and cover is just going to grant you more armor to soak up some of those additional hits.
That's fine.
Take what you can get.
That's what I need.
Okay.
Okay, so he will move out of the queue. Paragons and Francis will move up. I'm actually going to put Quill in again.
Okay.
Because I quite enjoyed the movement shenanigans.
Nice.
That I spent from him, so put that out the way.
Yep.
And that's fine.
All right. Well, you'll notice a dynamic while we're playing. I think different from a lot of miniatures games.
Yeah.
As that it is a constant tumbling scrum of fighting.
Yeah.
There's no round. There's no, oh, I'm done. Let's go take a smoke. There is simply, we're going to fight this through so that we can get our scenarios rolling and going. It doesn't end at the mark of a phase. You're just moving from one to another.
Yeah.
So.
Well, end of my turn. I'm bidding my entire hand.
Okay.
Because it's absolute garbage. I draw 1 and it's crap.
All right.
So now I have to shuffle and draw 4 more. So
Very good.
if you want to take your activation.
We'll do it. Zenaida comes in. She draws line of sight again to her Cipher. She can see him up here. She's going to add an additional held Esper. She can hold up to 4. Move everybody over, and we're going to go ahead and see what it is we need to do. I can see that little guy of yours, so I'm going to go ahead and move her 6, and she's going to just kind of work around and ignore a lot of this stuff. So 6 inches is going to get her up here to the lip.
Okay.
Now, we're going to go ahead and see what she can pull off here. Yeah, we can do some damage. So we're going to do...
Scary, scary, scary.
Well, can be. So we're going to go 2 and 1, and we're going to try Calamity's Curse, and I'm going to go ahead and hit him in the backside.
Okay, so you're shooting my Aspirant?
I'm shooting your Aspirant.
Ah.
Right in the Aspirant. Calamity's Curse again, it's a ranged psychic attack. It does 3 damage. I'm going to go ahead and draw my Psychic Power, which is 4.
And I'll draw my 2 for defense.
Yep.
That'll work.
And I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, I'm going to spend 2 held Esper and a purple, and I'm going to make that damage 6.
Okay.
We're also going to spend 3 orange to make it unrecoverable. Tragic. And then I'm not going to spend anything else because I'm silly. But that's going to be my attack. It's going to be a power 6 psychic attack in the backside that is unrecoverable.
I'm going to take this one on the chin.
Well, maybe not on the chin, on the back chin. I don't know what that is. But you're armor 2, right?
Yep, armor 2.
So I'll take 4 more.
Yeah, I have a hand that I'm wanting to work with my next activation. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to take this one.
That makes sense.
So 4 damage, yeah?
Yep.
1,
And
2,
I'm going to
3,
discard
4.
2, draw 3, and then do my final movement with Zenaida for an additional 6. And we're going to clamber up the side of this
Okay.
into contact with your objective.
Okay.
All right, she's going to go out, and I'm going to put my priestess in.
Okay.
And back to 5.
So the next to activate for me is those paragons again.
Yep.
Everybody else shuffle up. So they're going to fly. They can obviously just fly directly back up here.
Yep.
Or, do I want to? Let me grab their card for a second, because I
Your
want
eye
to
on the
see
prize.
what they can do. But I have to stop you getting the prize as well.
That's a legitimate answer.
So, is your priestess in the lineup?
She is presently in my lineup, but she is the last one in line.
Okay. They will actually do... Actually, I think I can do a lot of damage to you. So, they're not going to move.
Okay.
They're just going to do the lance charge. So it's going to cost me 2 blue and a green.
All right.
Which I have. And then they get to charge 5 inches to get into this contact.
That will get you there, won't it?
Yes, it will. So both of them are just blasting up the road to get into combat.
Okay.
Lance charge is doing 5 damage. And then I get to draw their melee skill of 3. 2 and 3. Okay. Yep, no, that's 1 extra.
I'm drawing my 2 melee defense myself.
And then what I can do is I'm going to add 2 blue to add it up to damage 7.
Okay.
And then if I can, unfortunately I can't. I was going to add 2 green to it to actually... Oh no, I didn't need to. Increase the charge 6. Didn't matter.
Nope. You clearly got in. So she is an entropy initiate. Now, something we haven't talked about yet in games is that some models, certainly your questing knights and your relic knights, but some additional models who are really in connection with Esper have additional abilities that they can call upon to help them out. Now, one of the examples is my priestess, who you're whumping on over there, has in one of her traits an initiate of entropy. So we have these little bonus cards we throw in with the Esper decks. It's also in the rule book, which outlines the initiate level and the master level abilities that they have.
Okay.
So they're just general for the Esper type, but they give you some additional help. In this case, she has a little extra Esper hanging around. She's going to spend it, and she's going to give herself 2 extra armor.
Okay.
To kind of degrade some of that incoming hit.
Yeah.
But that's all I'm willing to spend right now. So how much total damage is coming in?
So it's 7 from the card.
Right.
And it's 2 guys in the attack.
So that makes it 8 damage total. Minus 2 is 6.
Yeah.
Leaving her with 1 hit point left.
Wow.
That was
almost.
Esper well spent, sir.
Right in here, almost done.
Oh, she's limping. Okay.
Yeah. So those get discarded.
Discard that.
End of my turn, and I have to discard down to 5 or more to actually see what I want. This entire thing is garbage.
Well, then discarding it shouldn't hurt.
Yes. So I will then draw a fresh 5, hopefully getting better
Awesome.
stuff.
Okay. Well, ouch.
This will work.
Okay. I'm gonna activate my berserkers. Meep, meep.
Okay. The other thing I need to do is I need to
sorry.
put the paragons. I'm just going to put them directly back to the back of the line.
Makes
see
sense.
what I can get.
Gotcha. All right. I'm gonna roll forward with my berserkers. Everybody's coming on over here. We're gonna just go ahead and move straight into activation. Go to my hand. Do I need to draw cards? No, I'm down to 5. These guys are gonna go here. They're gonna touch that and then spend their activation and pick up a heist token.
Yeah.
So this squad is going to carry a heist token.
Okay.
And their follow-on movement is going to show them tumbling over the backside of this wall and just trying to get off with the heist token. Now,
And do they just have to hit a board edge?
Nope. So you have to retrieve 3 heist tokens from one enemy primary objective and deposit them at any board edge. So there we go. We're going to play back and forth here a little bit.
Yeah.
So these guys are going to, they're mover 6. They're only going to go to the bottom of this thing because they didn't go down the ladder because your objective is in the way of the ladder. They hop down, and they have a heist token between the 2 of them.
Okay.
So
these 2 big Oni have just picked up a small chest of my gear and are now going, right, out we go, off we go.
Yep. And we're going to go ahead and throw them back in the activation queue because I need to keep them moving.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Okay. My next activation is Francis.
Yep.
So he'll move in. He can see his Cipher, so he will gain an Esper token.
Yep.
And he's going to get himself moving. So, where do I want to send him? He's got a movement of 7-5, so he's reasonably nippy around the board. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a headache. He is going to move 7 inches to here and get into melee.
Oh, my poor priestess.
Yes, the priestess is going to be taking another attack. So, I think I'm just probably going to go with a standard smite right now. So that's going to cost me 1 yellow.
Okay.
And 3 blue. So there's 3 blue and 2 yellow.
Okay.
So I believe that's correct, yeah?
That looks correct to
I
me.
believe that's yellow,
that's 2
that's
yellow
orange.
and 3 blue.
Yep. So it's just regular smite I'm going to hit you with. I then get to draw 4 for my melee stat.
Okay. I'm drawing 2 for mine.
4. Okay.
Oh, well, this is going to hurt. I cannot soak up enough damage to do anything about this, so I'm going to accept your loving stroke from behind and should remove her from play. How much damage was she dealing?
It's dealing a total of 6 damage.
Oh, yeah, look at that. I don't have any armor. So, yeah, she's down to 1 little pip.
So,
and
dead?
She's gone. So she goes in my kill pile. Now,
Lovely.
she's worth 1 victory point to you for taking her out.
Yep.
And I remove the model from play.
Lovely.
She's out.
I think I see the way this game now needs to go.
Downhill?
We'll see, because now because I've taken her out, you have less options to work with for shenanigans.
Yes, but I'll be able to reload them quicker.
So I'm going to put Francis right back in,
Makes sense.
just because I know he needs to start working on that end of the board. This stuff will go away, and I now get to discard down. And do you want to know what I'm really wanting to discard? Is 2 black cards that I drew.
Smart.
In fact, that's something I haven't shown people yet. In your decks, you will also get a few of these cards with just a black spot on them. They are worth nothing. They just take up space in your hand. Get them out of your hand as quickly as you can. Do not hang on to them.
That's right. You can take Dark Space home. It's right there.
So I will draw 2 new cards. So Uno and Dos and your activation.
All right. Well, I need to move over my render, who is now in a spot.
Yep.
And at the end of my turn, I'm going to have 2 slots to fill now because you removed 1 from play.
Yeah.
I have 5 cards in my hand. I flip my render and see what he's able to do. Well, can I get off a Hydra's breath and put another hole in your guys? I'm going to try. So I have, let's see here. It's going to require 3 purple and a red.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and take a shot at your paragons.
Okay.
Now, I have a shooting skill of more than 1, of 2, actually.
Yeah. And they have no defensive abilities.
Okay, so we're just going to try to do damage.
I'll assume this doesn't have any knockbacks or pushes on it.
Not yet.
Not yet.
So we're going to go damage 6.
Uh-huh.
And then I need 3 purple in order to give it push. I don't have enough energy to do that.
So I draw 3 because I'm being shot at.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, we resolve damage. So
Okay.
I'm doing 6 damage coming in from behind. You have an armor of 3.
Yep.
So I'm going to do 3 to the squad.
Okay.
And how many points does your trooper there have?
Well, one of them had taken 4.
Okay.
So he'll take 2 and die.
Yep.
The other one will take 1, I believe, yeah?
Correct. And so 1 trooper is removed.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Well, he doesn't think so.
So one of my guys goes away here.
All right.
Dead.
That puts me down to 2 cards in my hand. I'm going to draw 3 more and try not to cheat. And then fill in the rest of my back slot here with another render and a round of Zenata, leaving Spite in the idle pool. So, I'm done.
Okay, so I need to discard down. So I'm keeping 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5.
Okay.
And dropping the other 3. Oh, if I put them in the correct pile would help.
That would help.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's fine. Okay, so it's my activation. Quill is now going to activate. So right here, he'll move across. He will gain an Esper just for being a Cipher.
Yep.
And that's absolutely fine. So he is now going to start playing around and making movement shenanigans.
Yep.
Is there any reason he has to stay within a certain range of the knight?
Range, no. Line of sight, yes. So if
I
he
can
goes
work with
taking
this.
off and perches on something and he can see your boss, that works for all the things.
I can work with this. This is absolutely fine by me. So 7-5 movement. He's going to fly 7 inches directly over here.
Okay.
So if you can move him to there, please.
You bet. He perches up on the wall.
Yeah.
Caw.
And he will use his action to do nada. In fact, he's in line of sight of Francis.
Pitch him all your energy. Why not?
Yeah. So can I patch him both?
Yep, everything he's carrying.
So I can just give him the 2 Esper I had here, right across to here, so he's now sitting with a stack of 3.
Jerk. Okay.
And with the final bit of his movement, he's just going to fly right up and behind your character and the building.
Of course he is. You behind the building or
Yes,
behind
they're
him?
right behind the building, because I want to be out of line of sight.
Out of line of sight.
Yes,
All right.
out of line of sight. Or no. Don't want to be out of line of sight. Undo.
Where do you want him?
He's just going to hug the very building there, so just hug him right into the front of the building here.
All right. He's very hard to see. I cannot see him without doing one of those. But I can't hurt him anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah. They're
Invincible Cipher. Okay.
although I noticed you actually haven't activated your Cipher at all this game.
I've not needed to pull her out just yet.
Okay.
But I might, just because you asked me to.
All right, well, I'm putting Quill directly back into the lineup.
Okay.
Is there anything I want to get rid of? Yes, I want to get rid of 1 card and draw 1. And that will be my turn. So, I tell you what, we'll take a break.
Okay.
And we'll have a look at how the game's going so far.
That sounds great.
Okay, so I wanted to stop again just to see how we're getting on through this game.
Yeah.
So, I think one thing I'm really suffering from is I keep forgetting the objective. I think that's my biggest issue right now.
Well, it's all fine and good to chase the enemy around and take pot shots at him and do that sort of thing. But if your objective requires movement and focus on opponents' objective markers, you need to focus on that to score your points, because that's where you're either going to force the hand, shorten the game, or frankly just win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think my tactics at the moment have to be, my knight has to start coming up here to really interfere with you. My Paragon needs to go up here and actually finish what he was doing. I've got Quill over here, who's actually going to start trying to drag you out of position into my Swordsworn, and I think that's going to work.
It's a sound strategy of just keeping me from achieving my objectives. But I need to try to keep scoring points on you too at the same time.
Yeah.
And I got some dirty tricks left, so we'll see how this goes.
Feel free to share.
Oh yeah, no, this is going to be fun.
All right, so we're not sharing tactics?
Oh no, we're absolutely sharing tactics. So the render is a useful tool.
Yeah.
He's a big tough guy. You're going to drag him around. He's going to take a while to go down.
Yeah.
But he still has the ability to put holes in things and push you around. So as an active shooter, he's got a great line of sight. I'm looking at all the things that you're going to try to acquire. So if you think you can get him and take him out of play, that's awesome. But I may have the ability to keep you from doing that as well. So we'll see how that goes.
All right, well, we'll take another break. We'll get back into the turn, and we'll see what happens.
Awesome.
Okay, so we're on to your activation. Who's activating?
We're bringing the Berserkers back into play. So, Clyde and Chuck over here, who are carrying this stuff down the side of the building, are going to try to make it off the board with that objective.
Okay. So they're going to go. They've got more than enough movement to do.
Yeah. So they're going to move right here to the edge.
Yeah.
And as an action, they're simply dropping the token.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the first of 3 that I need to acquire.
Yeah. And you still have your secondary movement to bring yourself back.
Correct. Now 6 inches is not going to get me all the way up the thing, but it is going to get me to the edge of the building.
Yeah.
And we're going to be right there.
Yeah. I think again, next time if my opponent gets heist, I'm really just going to put it right in the middle of the board.
Oh yeah, just use it as a lure and just start picking them off as they're moving onto those targets.
But from where I'm at, you're pretty much able just to bounce back and forth from the edge of the board really quick. If I'm in the middle of the board, it's going to make that a little bit more challenging for you.
True. And there is something to be said for, and this is a perfectly legitimate strategy, is destroying an objective. I mean, you can tear down your own objective and blow it to bits. It's hard to do. It's got a lot of wounds on it. But if my primary is 5 points, and it's 20 wounds or 20 points of damage between you and removing my primary from play, blow it up.
Okay, top tip. Blow up your own stuff.
Blow up your own stuff.
Okay, so you've went.
Yep.
I've still got 5 in my hand. So no drawing up. My Paragon, my last Paragon, he's going to activate. Everybody else is going to shuffle up. And he's going to start moving about. So he's got his fly ability. So I need to get back to what I was doing, which is my objectives. So he's just going to use his flight to bring him right back up to here, and he'll bring this token with him. He's then going to put the other objective, which I have, which is putting, what is it?
It's an infuse counter.
An infuse counter.
Yep. So take one of your blues and just drop it right on top.
Yeah. Which is what I had hoped to do, but you kind of pushed me away from it.
Yeah. And your objective here, in this case, I believe, is to infuse all 3 of these markers.
Yes. Now,
okay.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Can he carry more than 1 token at a time?
The short answer is no. He can carry an token, so he needs to move with his token and bounce away.
Okay, so this is going to change my strategy slightly, because I did have plans, but okay, so he's going to go straight back into the activation pool, because I need to keep him moving, keep him doing stuff. So we're across to you, but I have the option to discard first, and I will discard 1 and draw 1.
Okay.
Just to sort of tailor my hand just a little bit.
Makes sense.
So on to you. Who's activating?
Activating my render of all people. All my stuff moves over. Let's go ahead and see what our render can do. So he's got a few things left. So he's going to take his initial movement of 5 inches and back away from your silly little bird.
Oh, okay.
Well,
run away, brave man. Run away.
No, he's not feeling that brave. Let's see. Maybe we're just going to bounce down a flight of stairs.
Okay.
And position ourselves in another place.
Okay.
Because
that's fine.
Those troopers, they've been sitting there having tea time a little bit too long. So
they've been sitting in cover trying to figure out what to do. They've been regrouping.
What are we doing? Come in. Yeah, no,
they've been planning to make a plan.
What are we going to do? It's just all heads and capes right now.
Yeah.
Well, no, we're going to go ahead and try to see if we can speed them up a little bit. And I'm going to hit them with the Hydra's Breath. Now, I say that.
Do you have the cards to do that?
That's the question, isn't it?
You see, this is why I like this randomization. It's not, can I make the roll? It's, can I plan to actually have my stuff activating when I want?
Oh, now I just failed all over the place. So he's charging his weapon as he goes running down the stairs and can't do anything about it. So we're just going to go ahead and move him after you anyway. Stomp, 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 stomp. He's going to just go ahead and stop right there.
Okay.
That'll finish his move. I'm going to go ahead and discard a couple of cards. I think I have too much of this.
Well, Francis is going to activate with the 3 Esper held on him.
Yep.
He can he still see his bird?
Where is he?
He's right down here. And
he can draw a line of sight. This is an elevated spot. He should be okay.
So he's going to gain 1 more Esper.
Okay.
Which gives him a grand total of 4.
That's all he can carry?
Max he can hold.
Oh, he's juiced up.
Yeah, he's ready to rock and roll. So with his 7-inch movement, he's going to get to moving. So tip, please.
Yep.
So straight up the ladder. I think I can get just to... I think he's going to go to about here. Should be fine. And so I can see your berserkers. I'm going to see if I have maybe a little whizzy range magic attack to fire at them.
Okay.
I think force of will.
Interesting.
I think... actually. Yes. Quick question. From here, can he see her?
I'm going to say yes. She's a 3 on top of a 5. And she's only 3 inches in from the edge. If we do some funky math, you can see the top of her head.
Okay. Then he's going to use Force of Will on her.
Okay.
So it's going to cost me 2 yellows and 1 blue.
Gross. That's a psychic attack, I presume?
Yes.
So she will draw out 4 cards for her psychic defense.
Well, I have to pay my 2 yellow and my 1 blue first.
Yep.
I'm not using the Esper that's on him because it's any color I want.
Correct.
So I think this is the best way to do this, is actually pay for my hand, then pay for the boost from him.
Yes.
Okay, that works fine.
Now you drew your psychic attack cards, though, yes?
Now I have to draw my psychic attack cards.
Which is a lot.
Which is 4.
Yeah, so he's generally doing pretty good for himself when he's casting spells.
3 and 4. Lovely. So, what do I want to add to this? I'm going to put 3 blue into it, just from my hand, because I can.
Okay.
Cannot redirect. And I'm going to put 2 yellow into it as well, which is going to increase it to damage 6.
Okay.
So I'm really going for a nuclear attack here. So
it's
an attack of 6 damage, cannot redirect, and it's got knockback.
All right, so let's do this. I can't stop the attack, but what I can do is I can vitate, so I can make sure that I have at least a recovery of 2 to save some of those wounds coming in. I don't have enough energy to increase that beyond that, so I'm only going to be able to recover 2 out of the 6 coming in.
Yeah.
So I take 4.
Okay.
And you knock me back, do you?
Yes, I knock you back.
That's a jerk move.
Yeah, I just kind of glanced over and I saw, if you look on this camera, you can see that where he's marking, that would have been his next activation.
Yes, Zeneda was next in line. But knockback is a wonderful little skill that if you apply it and actually deal damage or effectively use knockback, the model is removed from my queue and put into my idle pile and everything slides over.
Yeah. So I'm
means-
going to discard another 2 and draw 3.
Okay. Now I'm going to discard down to 5. We'll lose the void. And some stuff I don't need. All right.
Okay. So
You're dead.
I'm done.
Okay. My turn.
Yeah.
We're going to activate Spite.
Okay.
And Spite, she gains an Esper because she's just all Esper and flooded and awesome.
Okay.
She is going to meander her snaky little self with her amazing movement of 8 down the stairwell and into contact with Quill.
Okay.
Because Quill's a jerk. All right. So now, Spite has a couple of fun abilities, the first of which is something called coiling.
Okay.
Now, ciphers that begin their activation in contact with Spite cannot make their initial move, so no flyaway birdie.
Jerk move.
Yeah, it's kind of a jerk move. And then I think I am, if I have enough energy to... poop in a bucket, I can't. All right, never mind. Well, she is going to channel her Esper to her boss, Zenaida,
Okay.
and pick it up and stick it on her.
Okay.
Put it on her card anyway.
So more Esper on here, and I'm kind of trapped away over here. Okay.
Yeah, and so Spike goes into my thing, and I'm going to go ahead and fill out my next 2 slots, putting Spite and Zenaida back in the queue.
Okay.
And discarding 3 cards. And it is your turn.
Okay. Well, actually, Quill activates now, gains 1 Esper, is just not going to activate and pass that Esper straight to Francis.
Smart.
And then go to the idle pile as everything else shifts across.
Okay.
And I'm actually going to put Francis back into the mix here.
Okay. Now, Quill can use his secondary movement, not his primary. So he can break contact with Spite if you want him to.
I actually will. So secondary movement for Quill is 5 inches.
Does a bird hop. Yep, and gets out of the way.
Yeah, so tell you what, you just
Where do you
move him directly away somewhere.
Directly away on
Just
top of an
run away
objective
from
over here.
the nasty little Cipher.
Well.
Okay,
Hooray.
that'll do.
All right, there you
Okay.
go.
So that'll be my activation done.
Okay.
Do I want to tailor my hand any? No, I'm quite okay with this.
All right.
I'm quite okay with this. Okay.
So my Berserkers are the next ones up.
Yeah. So what are they going to do?
Very good question. They're going to be jerks, maybe? Yeah, they'll be jerks. So we're going to go ahead and move. We're going to go looking at this guy down here and just go stomping right into this path here, moving our 6 inches.
Yep.
And then I'm going to try to get off a gore charge.
Okay.
So a gore charge against your Aspirant, moving 6.
Okay.
And then drawing into my hand 4 cards for close combat.
Okay. So I assume you have the movement to get into the Aspirant, yeah?
6 will take me there, yes.
Okay. So let's just shuffle them right across.
Okay. And I'm going to try to boost this. I'm going to try to boost it with... I'm going to make it a damage 7.
Okay. Just to check in on my Aspirant. This is a melee attack, yeah?
Correct.
So he'll get to draw an extra 3. Wow, I've almost went through my deck again.
Milling happens.
Yeah. Okay, so I need to check my Aspirant for any abilities.
Oh, well, let me see if I can boost this a little more. I'm also going to gain
That'll work.
an ability called Overrun.
Yeah. Actually. Okay. So what does Overrun do, just so I know?
So, when I complete the combat, the model that causes Overrun basically forms a point, and the model affected by Overrun moves directly away from it the distance Overrun requires. In this case, it's Overrun of 4. So not only do I walk up and hit you, I also kick you 4 inches away. So I'm going to kick you right off the end of that wall, head first into a bunch of crates, because that seems like the right thing to do.
I'm looking at this. My Aspirant only has 2 health left. He can't do anything. I've got stuff that I could do to mitigate the damage, but it's never going to be enough to stop it.
Possibly, yes.
So I'm just going to let him take it and die.
So he explodes in a clatter of armor and weapons.
Yeah.
I'm going to score some... Well, first let's do this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pick up a slave token for this unit, for destroying a unit in
Okay, so
combat.
this unit here now has a slave token. Okay.
Correct. And I'm also going to pick up an assassination. Wait.
I think assassination just happened.
Automatic 3 points. Correct.
Yeah.
And then I gain a point from destroying an enemy unit. So a total of 4 points,
Okay.
plus the slave token, which could be worth another 2.
Eek.
So they just went crunch.
Yeah.
So that's 4 points out of my 8.
Right.
And their follow-up move is going to see them moving their 6 inches back this way because they got some booty in hand.
Okay. Huh. This really sucks. This really, really sucks.
Should probably do something about my cards too.
Okay, the next thing for me is, well, I actually need to discard down because I have way too many cards. So I need to keep that, might keep that, and I will get rid of that because that seems to be useless. There always seems to be 2 aspects that just seem completely useless to a faction. Is that deliberate?
Yeah, I mean, you have sympathetic Esper of a kind, right? So that means that you're, with a particular faction, always kind of playing in that realm of, well, I'm blue, somebody playing with purple, and play with green, maybe a little bit of yellow. And like we had talked about earlier, some of those carry facets of character with them.
Yeah.
So we have, for example, a character who is blue, who's got a little bit of purple, maybe slightly corrupt. Or in your case, you have, well, your boss, who runs both blue...
Yellow and blue, yeah.
And yellow being more essence and energy driven. He's got very elemental style attacks and energy that comes with him. But yeah, there's going to be colors that are going to be opposite of you on that wheel that you can't use.
Okay.
But different elements in your army may be able to draw from them where you can't, including some of your radiant or void choices for adding into your force. So
it's an interesting dynamic and something to consider when you're list building. So the next thing for me, my Paragons are going to activate. My Aspirant is now dead, and so he has to go to the dead pile, which is right here. This will all shuffle up, which is fine. These guys have to activate now. Well, this guy now has to activate. So I think I'm actually just going to have him book it back toward home to actually drop off that token.
Makes sense.
So if I can get the tape measure.
It's right there.
His first movement is 8 inches, which is more than enough. He's going to rock straight in and go into base contact very bravely with your Kyojin Berserkers.
Yep.
Because I want to see if I can actually do something cool and melee with him. So I no longer need this. I do, however, need this. Just having a very quick read of what I'm doing. And I am going to attempt a shield bash.
Okay.
So to start off, I need 1 blue and 1 green. So 1 blue, and I will burn this as the green. So they've got the shield bash off. They now have to draw 3 more cards. Okay, I only have 2 here, so I need to actually shuffle and draw 1 more.
And is that extra to yours as well?
Sorry, what?
This is also extra to your deck, or is that used for something else? Is it your hand?
No, my hand is here, so that must be old discard stuff that just wasn't used. So I'll just shuffle everything in here.
Okay.
And draw 1 more card into my hand, which is quite meaty right now after that. So, you have your defense on your Kyojin Berserkers. What is it?
Drawn my cards of 2.
Okay.
But I have no defensive action, so you are free to swing away.
Okay. So, what I'm going to try and do is actually increase the damage to 7 with another 2 blue, which I have.
Okay.
And then I'm going to add push 4 for 2 green.
Okay.
So 2 blue, 2 green. I now add push 4 to it, which means I can just push you right into that building.
That's correct. Okay, so push 4 does affect the whole unit. We talked about the danger zone, so the whole squad goes.
Yeah.
How much damage are you dealing?
Currently 7.
Okay. I believe because it's a separate point of damage being caused, that it's 7 damage minus whatever armor or mitigation I have, which for me is recover. So recover heals 2 back. So I go down to 1, then I'm back up to 3, and then I hit a wall for 3.
Yeah.
So I'm going to lose one of my guys regardless. So one of these guys goes splat.
Yeah.
I can't recover from 0 wounds. So one of these guys goes away, and then this guy crashes and flies right into the face of this building right here.
Yeah. I think that worked quite well.
Boom with shield bash. Yeah, that was a good hit. So
yeah. Oh, it was just a moment of, you know what, I'm on the way past. I'm going to take a swing at you as I'm going here.
I do that with people. So yeah, that's good. That's good.
So I want to hang on to those. Who's activating next? Actually, they're activating next. So I need to hold on to some green and some blue. So I will get rid of the rest of this.
Okay.
So discarding 3, I need to draw 2.
Mhm.
And aha, lovely. So Paragon is going right to the end of the activation cycle again.
Okay.
Because I want to get him doing stuff.
That's what he does.
Yeah.
All right.
So all you.
Okay. I'm going to activate Spite.
Okay.
Spite gains a held Esper.
Yes.
All right. Hard. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Now, let's double check Spite's requirements for casting a spell. Do I have it? I don't have it. Spite is going to pass another Esper to Zeneda.
Okay.
So Zeneda's going to be holding on to 2.
Yeah.
Spite will move and sit on top of that element right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then go to the back of the pig pile.
Okay. All done?
Well, I'm going to discard 2 and redraw 2, and then it is your turn, yes.
Okay, that's fine. So, next up for me, my Swordsworn are going to activate. Time to get into the fight. I think they're holding an Esper.
Correct.
So that's good for me. So they're going to activate, and they're just going to go straight into your guy.
Yuck. So we're going to move into combat?
Yeah, we're going straight into melee.
All right.
Get every last one of them that can make it in there. We've got a starting movement of 6 inches, so I'll assume it's more than enough.
Yeah, you definitely are able to get this front wall of guys into fighting.
Perfect. So, they're going to go for a Sword Strike.
Yep.
Yep, that'll do. Sword Strike. So, it's going to cost me 2 to start, which, let's see if I have. I do. And then for an additional 2 green, I believe, I can up it to 6 damage.
Ouch.
Which will do quite nicely.
Yeah.
So just straight up hit, no specials on it.
Okay. Well, I do have a defense against melee of 2. I only have 1 card left, so I'm going to shuffle.
Oh, I actually forgot. There is something special about it because there's a lot of guys there.
There are. So what was your base damage?
Base damage is going to be 6 after my boost.
So then 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 points of damage from a full squad of guys swinging swords at my dude. 1 more card.
Yep.
So I don't have any defensive actions except for sitting there looking dumb.
Yep. Oh, I also forgot to draw their 2 spare cards.
Okay.
Which, would help me anyway.
All right. Well, my guy's going to take, at armor 3, 7 points of damage. It's not enough to kill him, but you're definitely getting him down the line. He's got 3 points left.
Okay, so took a fair lump out of him.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
That's a big chunky bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So
those 2 get discarded.
they're going to go right to the end of the activation.
Okay.
My knight is up next. So, just so you know.
Yep, I see him.
So, it's on to your activation.
All right, so Zeneda is coming back into the fore. She is definitely here to play. All right, movement. She is going to start in contact with the objective. She's going to spend a marker, or spend an action point, and she is going to pick up a heist token.
Okay.
And then spend her remaining 6 inches and scramble down this wall.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fine. So, how many health does she have left?
She's got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 health.
I can do that.
It is possible.
So, all done?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I have my 5 cards. Are you discarding anything?
I am discarding nothing.
Okay. So, my knight will activate. And it's time to bring the pain. Okay, so he is going to just go for a force of will after having moved.
Okay.
So he's just going to move himself into a slightly better position to here.
Yep.
Which is fine. He can see his little guy, so he will gain an Esper.
Yep. He's not carrying 4 anymore, right?
No, he was on 3.
That's right. Okay.
And now it's going to be force of will again. So he will put down 2 yellow and 1 blue. He will then draw his magic of 4.
Okay.
So that's 2, 3, and 4.
Who's he targeting?
Oh, your priestess.
Oh, fancy pants. Okay.
Because I think I can do a fair chunk of damage to her.
Let's find out.
Yeah.
I draw my 4 defensive cards.
Yeah. Okay, so for additionals, I'm going to put 3 blue into it. So, actually, I'm going to hold those. I'm going to use 3 from him.
Okay.
To actually do it. So it can't be redirected. I'm then going to put 2 yellow into it to do damage 6.
Okay.
Which I think is the best use right now for everything. So those will all go away.
Okay. Did you put in enough Esper to make it so I can't redirect? Is that correct?
Yes, I did. That's the first thing I'm doing with that every time. I'm not letting you redirect.
That is a smart thing to do. So I am going to spend the 2 she has on her.
Mm-hmm.
Let me double check, see what I got. Yeah, the 2 she has on her for red, and add 1 red to make her armor 2. I'm going to spend an additional 3 to make it armor 4.
Okay.
And then I'm going to vitate for 3 to make it recover 2. So that's 4 armor with a recover of 2. So you're dealing how much damage?
I was dealing 6.
Okay, so that would recover
0.
all of the damage. Yeah.
But it does have knockback.
And that, well, she's in the back of the line. So,
yeah, so it doesn't really make a difference to you, does it?
That was magical defense, man. I had to pull that out of my hat. So
yeah. So he will just go to the back of the line now with a single Esper left on him.
And she burnt a lot of energy to keep from killing her. So
I think this is all working out okay.
Okay.
I now need to discard down to my 5.
Yep.
So holding this, right, who's next in my line? My Paragon is next in the line. So I want green along with him. So holding that, and that. And I'll discard 2 and draw 1.
Okay.
Perfect.
Perfect. All right. I have 3 at the start of turn. I'm going to draw 2 cards into my hand.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of nothing. I got yellows, and oranges, and reds. So my berserkers move over, and I'm going to see what we can do.
Berserker.
Berserker. Singular. Fair. Totally fair.
Well, it's all right. You killed one of my Paragons.
I did. And he's got 5 hit points left on him, right?
Yeah.
I might kill 2. Oh, wait. Let me just...
This is why I like this game. It's very, very fun. You know, oh, you killed one of my guys.
Revenge. Oh, let's just be a jerk and see what we can do. All right. You know, this is a no thing to do.
Yeah.
We are going to move into contact with you.
Okay.
Thump.
Yeah. And we're both carrying a token for for our objectives.
Correct.
Because
it's what we do. So I'm going to spend 4 orange, and I'm going to use Bestial Strike.
Okay.
This is an overcharge attack.
Okay.
That does 6 points of damage.
Yeah.
And I'm going to draw my close combat skill of 4. So I'm going to hit you physically as hard as this no knows how to hit something.
Yeah. I'll grab my spare 3, even though I have no defensive abilities.
Okay. And I'm going to see if I got it. I don't have an additional 3 to raise that damage level, but I am going to deal 6 points of damage to you.
Total 6?
Total of 6.
Minus 3.
Minus 3. So you take 3.
Okay, so he's still alive.
Crunch.
1, 2, and 3. 2 points left.
Yep. And then yeah, he doesn't get a follow-on move because that attack doesn't allow one. So I'm going to go ahead and pitch a couple of cards that I probably don't need.
Well, I'm actually going to pitch 3 cards to bring myself down to my 5 because I drew those. Mercifully, I didn't need them.
Oh, good.
Here's your problem now. The Paragon activates. Everybody else shuffles up.
Yep.
Your non-berserker is already in close combat with me, so I'm going to hit him.
So
and I'm going to hit him hard.
Oh, yeah.
So, Paragon is going to use the Shield Bash again.
Okay.
So I need 1 blue and 1 green. Nice and easy.
Okay.
He's then going to draw his 3 for his close combat.
I'll draw my 2 for defense.
3. Oh, couldn't have got better. So, what I'm wanting to do is I'm putting down 2 green to give it the knockback.
Okay.
And I'm going to put down 2 blue just to overpower kill you. Just in case you have any good defensive cards that you can just throw out there as a last resort.
Nothing of the kind. So how much total damage?
7 damage and pushback 4.
Okay. Well, 7 recover 2 is 5.
Yeah.
And then 3 hitting the wall means I explode. So you've had a fun time knocking me off the end of walls. Yeah. So my last berserker goes down. My card is removed.
And he leaves his slave token sitting.
And I leave my slave token just hanging out right there.
Yeah.
Jerk.
So.
Okay. Well, hey.
I think that was definitely worthwhile.
That was definitely worthwhile. Yeah, you just rattled my cage. So.
Yeah. So they're going back to the end. And your activation. Oh, also. 1, 2, 3, 4 left. So draw 1.
Okay.
And on to you.
Also,
that's the second unit killed, so that's 2 points for me now, yeah?
That's 2 points for you now, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so Spite is going to move into the queue. She's going to take a held Esper.
Mm-hmm.
Zenaida moves over. I need to discard down to 5 at the end of the last turn.
Yep.
So I'm going to go click and humana.
The one thing I'm noticing about this, once you really get into the crunch point of this game, things do die very quickly.
They do, and the escalation of combat and the stacking of skills and abilities and the additional concentration of, we haven't done a lot of this yet, but a lot of area effect and other things like that that go out can really compound at the speed of the end of game.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, as it stands, the way I'm looking at it is, I have to attack this leader here.
Mm-hmm.
Once that's down, I'm actually going to have my other Paragon just zoom across and kill him.
Jerk.
Yeah, I think I am just going to go for stabby, kill for this game. I think, because right now it's going to take me too damn long to complete my objectives because I forgot about them at the start of the game. So this is the tipping point where now I'm just saying, I'm going to kill him.
All right, well, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm going to borrow this from you real quick.
Okay, work away.
And Spite's going to just go running over here like she does, hissing and spitting the whole way.
Yep.
And she's going to use her ability, called Enduring Malice.
Oh dear.
So this is an AoE. It is going to be a buff, and it is going to give me armor 2. So I really like the idea of throwing a little bit of armor out and around, protecting my little buddies over here.
Okay.
So she's going to throw up some armor.
Okay.
She's going to sit on her held Esper, and she's going to go to the back of the party, and we're going to bring in the render to fill that empty slot from the dead bodies I just stumbled over. Okay. So that would be her turn.
Right. Swordsworn, we're going to activate. Smashy.
Yep.
So they're going to go for a sword strike, which is going to cost 2 blue Esper to start with.
Okay.
Then I need 2 green to increase it to 6, which thankfully I do have.
Okay.
So you're taking a 6 damage strike from a full unit, bringing it up to 10.
Bring it up to 10. Okay. Let me draw a defense for me, which is 2.
Yep. I also need to draw 2 more just to keep it right.
And
with
those will end up right back in the toilet. I don't need them. Now my guy is up to armor 5 now.
Yes.
So you're 10 to 5, doing 5 more damage. I only have 3 left. You are going to chop me down regardless. So, my render eats it. Man, this just comes apart quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Arg. My render just ate. That stays on the board, actually. That's an armor 2 boost. Okay.
Yep. So the swordsmen are actually, do I want them activating? No, I don't need them to activate now, but I am going to put Quill back into the mix because I think it's time to do some shenanigans with it. And the Swordsworn are kind of out of this battle.
Okay.
So, on to you.
All right. Well, I need to.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. That's fine.
You need to do a little
but
thing here.
Because it's the end of my turn, I'm going to bin all but 1.
Oh boy.
4 more.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to pull a card here and use it as my stand-in. I now have to have a filler.
Okay.
I'm down to 2 units.
So I'll bring this up on the camera if you point that out for us. So
You bet.
what are you doing here?
So what I did is, because I've lost more units than I have available ready slots, the empty ready slots now have to be filled with a placeholder card. So this becomes part of the timer. Now when that placeholder card hits, I have to skip my activation and keep going.
Okay.
Okay.
So you skip your activation, I get an extra activation?
Well, it basically moves through like as if it was a normal model, but nothing actually happens.
Okay.
So, but I get to go now. I get to go now. So
Yeah, well...
after you clean up your things. Did you discard down or...
I did, and I've drawn the possibly the worst hand you can get in this game.
Okay, okay.
I'm going to show it on the close camera here. You don't look. Look at that. Crap. Oh, okay, well, hopefully I can get you doing something this turn that'll let me do draws.
No, we can hope. It's really a hard choice between picking up one of your models and tossing them 12 inches or just putting some more damage on a character. Oh, Francis, how I don't like your face.
And he's on full health.
Yeah, what we're going to try to do is I'm going to try to hit you with Entropy's Snare.
Okay, is it a magic attack?
Well, let me double check my my hand here and see if I actually have enough to pull it off.
Okay.
Say 3 and 5.
So what we have happening here is magic attack from here to here. This could be interesting.
So I'm going to go 2 and 1. So we're going to go 2 red and a purple. It is going to be Calamity's Curse.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Before I do that, she moves over here and drops this thing off. This is my second one down.
Yeah. So you're really pushing.
Yeah.
But is that not your action to drop it off?
I wonder. To the best of my knowledge.
All right. Well, I tell you what. Before we do this, we're going to take a break and we'll come back and talk about the turn.
That sounds great.
Okay. So this turn is really starting to wind in.
Yeah.
As it stands, you're going after objectives and you are really hunting them because you're halfway home. You just need to get one more put away after the one that you're trying to put away now.
Yeah.
Now, the reason we stopped was to actually quickly check a rule that we weren't sure of. So, how has this worked out?
So what we were doing is we were checking to see whether or not it requires an action to deposit or to recover tokens, and the book's pretty clear about that it does. And you had actually wounded me the turn before, so in this, she actually skipped and dropped all of her stuff. And actually, I had to spend this turn and this action moving over to scoop it all up and to move.
Yeah.
So I'm not actually able to take an action this turn while doing that.
Okay.
I'm a cheater.
Oh.
At my own game. No. So.
It's all fun and games. That's the important thing. So long as you're having fun with the game, it doesn't really matter. But we're teaching people, so we'll play it this way.
Absolutely.
So we'll take a moment and we will come back to the rest of the turn. Okay, so what point are we at now?
Okay, so we discovered that by turn of rules that Zenaida has actually taken her action to scoop up the heist again to try to get it to the edge.
Okay, so now
she's got no spells. I got a handful of stuff that I'm not going to spend.
Okay.
So she's done.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and roll her out to the back of the pig pile.
That's absolutely fine for you. And it actually is, because Francis is going to activate, right? Problem is, I have nothing that can do anything with him. I have a hand of... actually, no, that's orange. He can do nada.
Well, he's so winded from chopping up all my other guys. So I get that.
He's just a little tired. So
tired.
What I'm actually going to have him do is just move up to here, just to be a little bit more in the way for next turn. And I'm going to bin all but one of my hand.
Okay.
Because that's how bad it was. Look, I had 3 of those.
All the void. Congratulations.
All the void. But now
void.
the void is gone from my deck for the rest of this turn.
Well, that's fair. And you have
So
a little...
I need 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it's onto your activation. Francis is literally just going to move straight to the back of the pile because he needs to start doing stuff again.
Yeah, and I'm literally...
So you've got a little bit of a reprieve here.
Just a tiny bit. And I am literally down to just my boss and my Cipher. So you've done a good job cleaning up the other mess.
Yeah. Well, it was that moment of, okay, holding back, big scary red monsters. Oh, he's close enough to hit, right? Let's have a go.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, let's go ahead and see this done.
Yep.
So it's Spite's turn. Spite's going to wiggle worm her way 8 inches over here so she can draw a line of sight to Zenaida.
Okay.
She does pick up an extra Esper, so she's at 2, and she's going to transfer to Zenaida 2 held Esper.
Okay.
And she'll finish her turn hanging out and, again, hissing angrily. So I have no cards that I really want to ditch, so I'm a happy camper. It's your turn.
Okay. Well, as it stands, I'm going to activate my Paragon. He's just going to start moving across to here. And that'll do for that. Unfortunately, I drew crap again. So, discarding 4 and drawing 4.
Okay.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Your activation.
Okay, my activation.
Paragons are going to the back of the queue again.
Very good. So, start of my activation, my placeholder card comes into play, which means it's going to go back to you now.
Okay, so I'm now going to activate Quill.
Okay.
And Quill is just going to start flying as fast as possible back towards her
boss?
knight, because she actually can't see him anymore.
Good call. So we're going to say, you want to go this way?
Yeah, so 7, 5, I've got 12-inch movement total.
So 12 is going to get you up here.
Yeah, just as far as I can go right across to there to try and draw a line of sight. Quill will obviously get an Esper.
Yep. But you can't transfer it because you would have stopped mid-flight. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
But it means that Quill is now generating Esper, which I can put onto Francis again, which should work fine.
Or I can steal it from you.
Oh, you can do that?
Well,
No. Flying away.
Little Pokemon fights. Be fun. Okay.
Okay, so it's your activation.
My activation.
Actually, I'm going to bin 3 more cards and keep drawing.
Okay,
Because
smart.
right now I think it's more of a mill game than anything else. So I need to shuffle and draw 1 more, but you can go on ahead.
Probably not wrong. Zenaida is going to be very active here, and She is going to take her movement into contact with your remaining trooper over here.
Okay.
And she is going to use bloodletting.
Okay.
Bloodletting requires 2 red
Uh-huh.
and a purple.
Okay.
So she's going to burn 2 out of her hand to be the red.
Quick question.
Sure, shoot.
This symbol here, can I use that as a reaction?
You cannot
Okay.
use it as a reaction. No.
That's fine. I thought I could have been very clever. Activated my thruster blast and just jumped away from you.
That would have been clever. But no, that's an action, so he would have to be during his own turn.
That's fine. I thought it would have been a cool one.
That would have made them one of the most useful defensive abilities in the game. So
Yes.
I do appreciate that.
You're going to smack me. No! Okay.
So she's going to use this, and she's going to make a melee attack against.
Okay, so wow, you're living in
Paragon.
all your spare Esper and one of that can be any. Okay.
Oh, burn it if you got it, and it's a damage 5 reaving attack.
Okay.
So it's going to start damage 5. I'm going to draw my close combat skill, which for her is 2. So I'm putting 2 more cards in my hand.
Okay.
I'm going to up that
for my Paragons
to
3.
damage 7. And I'm going to make it piercing 2.
Okay, so Paragons have no defensive stuff.
Yep.
But want to keep that. Want to keep that. Want to keep that. Oh, there's too many things I want to keep. So I need to check. So I need that as well. That. I will drop one of these. So I'm actually dropping a 2 blue. But
Okay.
this is me really building my hand for Francis's next activation.
It's smart.
Hopefully.
It's smart.
So I'm just going to take it on the chin. Paragon's going to die.
Well, that's chin taking all right. She rushes in and just going to and takes you out. It's a pierce 2 attack, comes in at strength 7, -2, -1. You take 5 points of damage and explode. In the process of exploding, and I gain a point, which puts me up to 5.
Yes.
She also has the ability of Reeve as well as Life Leech.
Oh.
So she's going to heal 3 points,
Okay.
and she's going to gain a held Esper for the effort. So she'll take that one. All right.
Okay, so the Paragons are now dead.
And she will finish her movement.
Quill will move up,
Hang on
and
over here.
the Sword Sworn will also move up, but not yet, because they're still in the idol. Okay, so my activation.
I'm going to finish noodling out my hand here, and you are good to go.
Okay, so Francis will activate. He has a 7-inch movement, which will definitely take him into range here. So he will go to here, get into range. I'm just going to move this building right out the way so we can see what's going on here. So we have our little bit of a fight going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so time to fight. Where is he? Where is she? She's right at the back.
Yep.
So,
She has remaining 11 hit points.
that's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cast Smite,
Okay.
because I think it's the cheaper of the 2. Or actually, is it? Yes, it will be. So it's 1 yellow and 3 blue, and I'll keep the rest.
Okay. Well,
I'm not going to put anything else onto it. It's just doing a flat 6 damage.
flat 6.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and draw my 2 cards for defense. And
I almost forgot. I have to draw 4 for his attack.
okay.
3 and 4. So actually, do I? Don't I?
You got to finish it up before I can declare my things.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to make the choice. Let's see. I'll actually put the blue one onto it, which is giving it the symbol.
To make it an overcharge attack.
Yes, overcharge attack.
Okay. That requires me to make an overcharge defense if I'm going to stop any of the stuff.
Yes.
So I won't be able to stop the attack. So what I am going to do is I'm going to spend 1 of my held Esper, as well as 2 purple, and I'm going to give myself recover 2.
Okay.
So you are coming in at 6, so I will take 4 for the
Yes.
for the difference.
So as it stands, you only take 1 more damage because you forgot to heal your 3.
Correct. And still leaving me with 7 hit points.
Okay.
Okay.
Good defense.
Yep, that's gotta use it if I got it.
Yeah. Okay, so
Discard.
he will go out, and I'll put him in before the swordsman, because they wouldn't have went until the end of my turn, yeah?
Right.
Okay, I then need to see what I have left in my hand. I'll keep those 2, but I'll bin the other 2, because they're useless to me. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Your activation. Are you going to hit me?
Well,
Come on, hit me. Fight me. Give me a hug.
here's what we're going to do. So I'm going to activate Spite, who
Okay.
gains a held Esper of her own.
Okay.
And because of her wicked little leapy movement, she's going to be able to cover the distance with 8
Okay.
and get right behind you.
Damn it.
And I am going to use my Esper ability, which is Esper Thief.
Okay.
And I'm going to steal your held Esper and give it to herself. So she's
Okay.
up to 2 and you're
So-
down to nothing. And
fine.
I'm going to ditch a few cards here because this is embarrassing.
I'll put our building back into play here.
Okay.
It's probably going to come in soon.
Discard 3, draw 3.
Okay.
Done.
Done? Okay. So I can only discard down to the 5, yeah?
Yeah.
That's fine. I'll hold on to this. Get rid of 3. It is Quill who's activating, so it can only move 5 inches away from you now.
Correct. Its initial movement can't be made at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just if you move it 5 inches, please.
Where do you want it?
Just 5 inches
At
directly
the side of the
this
thing?
way.
Just like here?
Yeah, that's fine. That'll do.
Okay.
So Quill is done, and now goes to the back of the queue. Because I'm down to 3, it is just cycling through all 3 of my units now.
Okay, well, activate Francis because I just hit my placeholder again. So
Well,
you're...
first discarding
I'm sorry. Go
3 to draw 3.
Okay.
So hoping for a good draw. I can work with that, maybe. Okay, so Francis has 1 Esper on him. So what he's going to do is he's going to activate the Force of Will. He's just going to stay still and just attack you right here. Not moving, not doing anything.
Okay.
So Force of Will is going to cost me 2 yellow. So I'll put down 2 yellow and 1 blue, which I'll spend as the Esper that's on him.
Yep.
Just because I think that'll be more useful. I'm then going to put the... Yes, I'm going to put down... Oh, damn. Okay, well, I can put down 2 yellow to increase the damage to 6.
Okay.
But you can redirect. But I assume you don't have anywhere to redirect?
That is a fact.
Okay, so I don't need to worry about that.
Correct.
So 6 damage with knockback. There you go.
Okay. So I've drawn my Psychic Defense. So I put my cards in my hand.
Actually, I need to draw my own Psychic Attack, which is another 4.
And I need to do this to save my bacon so I get at least another turn out of these.
Yeah.
So we're going to do this. I'm going to...
It's really just down to milling our decks right now, guys. This is a fight to the finish, and from what I can see, John is fighting like crazy to stay alive.
I'm going to spend 2.
Yep.
And I'm going to up my armor to 2.
Okay.
But I don't have any additional Esper to be able to do any other defensive actions.
4 more points.
So 4 more points. She's scraping by. She's got 3 left.
1 problem.
What's that?
Knockback. Put yourself to the back of your queue.
You are a bugger. All right.
Yeah. So on my side,
Yeah.
Francis will move to the back of the queue, and the Swordsworn will be activating next. But I think it's really just a matter of time right now. I don't think you can finish this and win.
No, I definitely think that you have probably a couple of turns in me, but your Swordsworn are too far away to actually achieve any more objectives.
Yeah.
But he is going to just take a merry whacking at my face, and I got 3 hit points left. So
Yeah, he's just going to chase you down. So
I'm gonna
shall we call it
a
that?
game, sir. I think so.
All right.
Hey,
Thank
good
you.
game.
That was a good game, guys.
Awesome.
Drop your comments below. Tell us what you think. Do you enjoy the play mechanics of Relic Knights? I know I do, and I know I'm going to play more games of this.